back with another chapter. Dear children, globalization is the word used to describe the growing interdependence of world's economies, culture, and population brought about by a cross border trade in goods and services. Not only this, technology and flow of interest and information. So, countries have built economic and partnership to facilitate these movements over many countries. So, but the term gained popularity after the Cold War in the early 1990s as these cooperative arrangements shaped modern everyday life. Dear children, this guide uses the term more narrowly to refer to international trade and some of the interest may follow among advanced economics and mostly focusing on the United States. Dear children, the wide ranging effect of globalization are complex and politically charged. Let us move on to the topic. Dear children, this chapter deals with globalization. Here, you will get to know the integration between countries through foreign trade and foreign investment by multinational corporations MNCs. So, you will further get to know the role of that MNCs plays in the globalization process. Dear children, the final section of the chapter cover the impact of globalization and the extent to which globalization contributed to the development and process. So, globalization and the Indian economy, we have mainly deal with the integration of production and integration of market. So, this will help you to understand the process of globalization and its impact in a better way. In a matter of years, our markets have been transformed. Today, we will continue with his economics of class 10 and the chapter which we will discuss is globalization and the Indian economy. Dear children, foreign trade has facilitated the travel of goods from one market to another. It provides a choice of goods to the buyer. So, producers of different countries have to compete in different markets, and prices of similar goods to market in two different countries become almost equal. Production across countries. Until the middle of the 20th century, production was largely organized within countries, and colonies such as India export the raw materials and foodstuff and imported finished goods. Dear children, trade was the main channel connecting distant countries. So, large companies, which are now called multinational companies, MNCs, play a major role in trade. So, an MNC is a company that owns or controls production in more than one nation. Dear children, MNCs set up offices and factories for production in regions where they can get cheap labor and other resources so that the company can earn greater profits. Dear children, in general, MNCs set up production where it is close to the market, where there is skilled and unskilled labor available at low cost, and where the availability of other factories of production is assured. Dear children, so the money that is spent to buy assets such as land, buildings, machines and other equipment is called investment. The investment made by the MNCs is called foreign investment. So, the benefit to the local company of such joint production is twofold. Dear children, MNCs can provide money for additional investments like buying new machines for faster productions. And MNCs might bring with them the latest technology for production. But the most common route for MNC investments is to buy up local companies and then to expand production. And many of the top MNCs have wealth exceeding the entire budget of the developing country government. Dear children, we see that there are a variety of ways in which the MNCs are spreading their production and interacting with local produce in various countries across the globe. MNCs are exerting a strong influence on production of these distant locations. Dear children, as a result, production in these widely dispersed locations is getting interlinked. Dear children, let us discuss about interlinking production across the countries. In general, MNCs set up production where it is close to the markets, where there is skilled and unskilled labor available at low cost, and where the availability of other factories of production is assured. Dear children, the money that is spent to buy assets such as land, buildings, machines, and other equipment is called investment, as we discussed. An investment made by MNCs is called foreign investment. So, MNCs are exerting a strong influence on production at these distant locations. As a result, production in these widely dispersed locations is getting interlinked. So, there are a variety of ways as discussed in which MNCs are spreading their production and interacting with local processes in various countries across the globe. Dear children, by setting up partnerships with local companies and by using the local companies for supply, another thing, by closely competing with the local companies or buying them up, these countries interlinking with local producers. Dear children, MNCs set up production jointly with local companies with benefits local companies in other ways. Foreign trade and integration of markets. Foreign trade creates an opportunity for the producer to reach beyond the domestic markets of their own countries. Dear children, foreign trade creates an opportunity for the producers to reach beyond the domestic markets. So, producers can sell their products in market. Dear children, producer can sell their products not only in the market located within the country but can also compete in market located in other countries of the world. So, similarly, buyers have the options to choose among various goods beyond domestically produced goods. Dear children, thus, foreign trade results in connecting the market or integration of markets in different countries. Let us discuss about what is globalization. A large part of the foreign trade is also controlled by MNCs. A result of greater foreign trade has integration of production and markets across countries. Dear children, globalization is the process of rapid integration or interconnection of countries. MNCs are playing a major role in the globalization process. How more and more goods and services, investment and technology are moving between countries. So, there is one more way in which the countries can be connected, and this is through the movement of people between countries. Dear children, so now the question arises, what are the factors that have enabled globalization? Let us discuss about that. Rapid improvement in technology has been a major factor that has stimulated the globalization process. Dear children, rapid improvement in technology has been one major factor that has stimulated the globalization process. This has made possible much faster delivery of goods across long distances at lower cost. So, the development in information and communication technology have made information instantly accessible. Dear children, liberation of foreign trade and foreign investment policy, another region. And trade barriers or some restrictions that have been set up by government, and the government can use trade barriers to increase or decrease foreign trade and to decide what kind of goods and how much of each should come into the country. So, tax and imports is an example of trade barriers. Removing barriers of restrictions set by the government on trade is known as liberation. When the government imposes less restrictions than before, it is said to be more liberal. Dear children, let us discuss about World Trade Organization, WTO. We have seen that the liberalization of foreign trade and investment in India was supported by some very powerful international organizations. Dear children, World Trade Organization is an organization whose aim is to liberalize international trade. So, at present, 164 countries of the world are currently members of the World Trade Organization, WTO. It has established rules for developed countries regarding international trade so that these countries can allow free trade for all. The children, we have seen that the liberalization of foreign trade and investment in India was supported by some very powerful international organizations. Dear children, these organizations say that all barriers to foreign trade and investment that are harmful. There should be no barriers. And World Trade Organization is one such organization whose aim is to liberalize international trade. Through World Trade Organization is supported to allow a free trade for all. In practice, it is seen that the developed countries have unfair relations trade barriers. Dear children, on other hand, World Trade Organization rules have forced the developing countries to remove the trade barriers. Let us discuss about what the impact of globalization in our country, India. In the last 20 years, globalization of the Indian economy has come a large way. Globalization and greater competition among producers, both local and foreign producers, has been of advantage to consumers and particularly the well-off sections in the urban areas. Dear children, globalization has impacted the lives of people in India. It has provided greater choices to consumers who now enjoy improved quality of and lower price and several products. And not only this, it has resulted in higher standards of living. Dear children, in the last 20 years, globalization of the Indian economy has come a long way. So, globalization and greater competition among producers, both local and foreign producers, has been of advantage to consumers and particularly the well-off sectors in the urban areas. As a result, these people today enjoy much higher standards of living than was possible earlier. Dear children, MNCs have increased their investment in India over the past 20 years, which means investing in India has been benefited for them. Dear children, several of the top Indian companies have been able to benefit from the increased competition. Moreover, globalization has enabled some large Indian companies to emerge as multinational themselves. So, globalization has also created new opportunities for companies and providing services, particularly those involving ITs. Dear children, let us discuss about the struggle for a fair globalization. People with education, skill, and wealth have made the best use of new opportunities. Dear children, fair globalization creates opportunities for all and also ensures that the benefits of globalization are shared better. So, the government can play a major role in making this possible. How it is possible? It can ensure that labor laws are properly implemented and the workers get their rights. Not only this, and it can support small producers to improve their performances and necessary the government can use trade and investment barriers, and not only this, negotiating at the World Trade Organization for fairer rules. Not only this, it's also aligned with other developing countries with smaller interests to fight against the domination of developed countries in the World Trade Organization. Dear children, technology rapid improvement has contributed greatly towards globalization, and development in information and communication technology has also helped a great deal. And dear children, technology and telecom facilities and telegraph, telephone and other faxes around the world, these are connected around the world, and it helps saving frequent long trips across the globe. Information technology has also played an important role in spreading out production of services across countries. Dear children, orders are placed through internet and designing is done on computers, and even payments for designing and printing can be arranged through interest. Dear children, last but not least, intelligence is of two types: developing and applying your knowledge and skill appropriately. So, to develop intelligence, you should train your brain with four types of skills: language, numerical ability, reasoning, and develop your skills. Is not that regard. Dear children, train the brain constantly to keep it active and try to locate strongholds of your intelligence spheres so that you would shine better and work with enthusiasm. Learning will continue. Stay tuned for more video lectures on social science. Have a nice day. Thank you.